are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Bring back that beat.
You're all theatrical now.
See what A-Trap about today. You know, I gotta bring I think I gotta raise the bar, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm not messing with you. I'm not fooling with you at all, okay?
All right, but welcome back to the Fourcast. As you can see, it is the Threecast. Mayhem Wilkes will not be on tonight. He should be back next week. But coming at you with a throwback, man. It's been a minute since we've done a throwback. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
So Car Wash was kind of the first thing that came to mind for all of us.
Got to commit to those throwbacks once a month, man. We got to be on that. These are too fun. Not, you know.
Right. True.
Really are.
But this is the Fourcast. We review movies, films, documentaries a completely different way, 4 different perspectives every Monday at this same time on BS3 Network. Also on End of the Bench Media on YouTube and Facebook as well. So we got that shared effect going on. Also on YouTube and on Roku and Facebook. So we're everywhere. Wherever you're tuning in, make sure to comment, also share, give us a thumbs up. If you're tuning in a Facebook group, you do have to click that link. Go down to the bottom, click that link so we can see who you are. We definitely want to give you the proper shout out. So
I thought you gave me let's go ahead and do some on the air producing. I thought you gave the fix to that for us.
Oh yeah, that's good for us. I'm talking about for the people commenting.
Yeah, but I thought if we did it, made ours public, that their comments would show up.
Nah, that's their own personal Facebook page.
If you know anybody who's looking to be a podcast producer, please have them reach out to us. They can reach us at BS3 Network or at iKing. Pay sucks, but you'll have a great time.
Right, exactly. Hey, you may get some free wings at 11 and 2.
Some free natural toothpaste there.
Right, we got you.
Or a grab bag, swag bag,
Yeah, something, we got you. All right, A-Trap, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Definitely good to see you.
We are on. We are also. I just put us on. What's the name of that? Fan base.
Okay.
Fan base.
Isaac Hayes Jr.'s social media website.
Yeah. We got a fan base. We got to get back into using it more. But yeah. Shout out to Isaac Hayes III, man, building his own thing. Also for independent media to make money too. He's got a pretty good platform, so we could tap into that. Doc, how you doing? Came in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Back into the garage and just ran in with the garage door open.
Yeah, I'm kind of like they say the Lord, he may not come when you want him to. He always on time, man. And if you're on time, you're late. So I was late.
So he on time God, then
that's what I know him to be.
Okay.
And that's what Daddy Rich said.
Man. That might have been the highlight of the movie, man.
Yeah.
So go on and give us a description. It is an older movie. Most people probably already know, but
yeah, it's from 1976. Yours truly was 5 years old at the time. How old were you, A-Trap? 76.
Six.
Okay.
Every year, my age is the year.
Okay. So
-6.
Yeah. The plot is this day in the life cult comedy focuses on a group of friends working at Sully Boyer's car wash in the Los Angeles ghetto. The team meets dozens of eccentric customers, including a smooth-talking preacher played by Richard Pryor, Daddy Rich, a wacky cab driver played by George Carlin, and an ex-convict while cracking politically incorrect jokes to a constant soundtrack of disco and funk. Some of the workers find romance as the day moves along, but most are just happy to get through another shift. This was directed by Michael Schultz. It did in the box office for 1976. It did 14 million in the box office, and for 1976, that's cracking. You know,
That's big money.
Yep, it was released. In fact, I was exactly 5 years and 7 days old. It was October 22nd of 1976. Norman Whitfield, along with Michael Schultz, may be names you recognize. So Norman Whitfield was actually on the music. He composed the music. Again, such characters as Richard Pryor, we said George Carlin in here, and a couple other names you'll recognize. And Jack Kehoe is a big time guy. Ivan Dixon. This was actually his last film, but he played in a lot of those old, even some of those blaxploitation movies and stuff like that. But Ivan Dixon was a big time worker at the time, and this was some of his last one. The guy who played Abdullah, you would recognize him if you watch this movie. He was in a lot of stuff. He always played the proverbial. He was a good bad guy. His name was Bill Duke. That's his real name, and he plays a great bad guy because he's got that menacing look, like he just intimidates you with his look, kind of tall. So I think this was a perfect character for him. And the question that I had is this what set Rolls Royce off, A-Trap, in your opinion? Because this song, of course, reached #1. The main song's Car Wash. It was written for this film. And of course, reached the top of the charts. And I just didn't know if they were popping before then or if this is what set them off.
Good question. I mean, I was 6. So I don't know.
I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find anything.
Ask me a rap question. It's rap Jeopardy over here. But,
well, if we look at their here, I'm gonna pull up their. So that was their first album, Car Wash. So yeah.
Point.
They've been living on that because they still tour nowadays. And of course, you're gonna hear Car Wash and you're gonna hear next to you, and a couple others. They're an opening act and they're only gonna be on stage for about 15-20 minutes and they out. Now they're gonna jam the shit out of Car Wash for about 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, they're gonna jam it a long time, but the lead singer of Rolls Royce, she was bad, she was bad. Female singer, she was bad. She got a lot of props back in the day, and I'm surprised they didn't do more than what they did. To be perfectly honest with you,
let's get to the
chat. No,
hey, he's here, but he's not here. He said HR probably didn't notice the music.
No, I was on that music, man. See, and, okay. What to me today, I don't get the music. The music doesn't touch me in today's music like it did back in the day. You know what I mean? The music back in the day, to me, I'm not saying it is fact, but it seemed like the music was a part of the movie.
That's right.
It's an undertone now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's more so under. Yeah.
In fact, Car Wash was supposed to be a musical when it was first created.
You're right.
It was supposed to be a musical. It just turned out to be, not. And then also another fun fact: Richard Pryor's part only took 2 days. He shot his part in 2 days.
Not shocked at all.
And he didn't even remember it because he said he was coked out of his mind. He didn't even understand what his role had to do with the movie. He told him what they
didn't even know.
Car Wash. So yeah, I thought that was some interesting fun fact.
You ever thought about how much Rich could have got done without that power? Man?
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
because I mean, one of the funniest,
a lot of less fires.
You wrong. Wrong. But one of the funniest movies in the history of cinema was co-wrote by Richard Pryor. Mm-hmm. Blazing Saddles, man.
Yeah.
Cleavon Jones was supposed to have been Richard Pryor. Man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Rich could have pulled that off, but
Oh,
'Cause
Richard,
Big Pun killed it.
Did he have a part in Stir
Oh,
Crazy?
yes,
He was co-star Stir Crazy.
I mean, like, did he write it though? Or was that somebody?
I don't know. Now that I
I
don't know.
imagine a guy like Richard Pryor, he does a lot of his own stuff regardless. They're gonna give him a lot of freedom in whatever he does. In fact, I remember saying something by them telling something about when they was walking in, talking about that's right, we bad. That he had a lot to do with that, you know.
Yeah.
And then okay, so we mentioned George Carlin. George Carlin wrote all his lines in this movie. You know, he didn't, which, you know, I think A-Trap and I both have expressed, you know, our appreciation and fondness of George Carlin and his work. One of the first woke comedians out there, right?
If not the first.
Yeah, if not the first, that's right. And then Garrett Morris, which you know has gone on to play in so much stuff.
Man.
Jamie Foxx show, right? Wasn't he
Yep. He was the uncle. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So Garrett Morris been around a long time.
Really high.
He wasn't even well known enough to be listed as a cast member on this. You know, like at the top, I had to go way down to search. Okay, wait a minute. Same thing with Jack Keogh. This was one of his early deals, you know. So you had some first timers and you had some last timers, like Ivan Dixon's last film and a couple other guys' first films, you know.
Yeah. And as we kind of getting into this, I think, you know, the cover shows Richard Pryor and
George Carlin.
So you think, oh, these are main characters. Richard Pryor was in the movie for 10 minutes at most. And I'm sorry to say this, but Carlin's character was a wash. To me, it was a waste.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah,
it didn't fit at all. And I didn't get the hooker character either. I don't know if y'all got any insight on that. To me, that was a waste of character.
It was just, and I let A-Trap say it because he may be going the same place. It was just trying to show all the things that went around the car wash. They may have been, you know, just fringe things, but it wanted to show you this is the type of stuff that's happening in and around here. You know, and okay, so you said the hooker wasn't a big part of it. Well, Big Hippo thought she was a big part of it.
Yeah, that was his.
Okay,
that was his squeeze, his main squeeze.
So he, you know, but A-Trap, go ahead. What was your thoughts on that? George Carlin.
Okay. Hey man, I'm gonna go ahead, go in. This is blackface whiteness, man. This is blackface whiteness. This is okay. When you look at the history of these situations, this was a black exploitation movie. And when black exploitation movies took off, you had Gordon Parks, you had the late great Melvin Van Peebles, and you had people like Fred Williamson, and they said, "Oh, Hollywood, y'all don't want us? Okay, we'll do it ourselves."
Right. We do our own thing. Yeah.
Hollywood said, "Wait a minute, y'all actually making money doing this?" And then people like Joel Schumacher and the people that you mentioned, Joel Schumacher wrote this movie, and this is the perception of blackness via white people. That's why I said it's blackface whiteness. Because when you watch the beginning of the movie, you see two brothers, and then maybe that helped me a little bit because you said it was supposed to be a musical. You see two brothers, they didn't have the undercarriage cleaner back then, and they dancing while they do it. And I was like, yeah.
Well, the two dudes that came in, it was like, I'm Lloyd and I'm Floyd.
I was like, this is blackface whiteness, man.
Let me get to a couple comments real quick. Anna, thank you for tuning in. She said it's been a minute. She's been busy. Appreciate you for tuning in. The artist, currently known as Benita A. Whitfield in the building. The album dropping, coming out 2 Fridays after next. Make sure you cop that. Rucker Park in the building. Thank you for tuning in. And it's a good comment from Wilkes here. Danny DeVito was in deleted scenes.
That's right.
And a few others. And I was waiting on him because he was in the credits.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was in 1978 when it got released to TV is when Danny DeVito and one other female character, I can't remember her name, and she's a pretty famous actress. They were both in the TV when it rolled out for, the TV. You know how they did back in the day, and they, did the made for TV. I don't know if it's because
Friday night TV show.
Yeah. So they got added.
Great.
And how could I mention some cast members without mentioning the great Antonio Fargas?
Yeah.
Not Vargas like you think it should be. Antonio Fargas with an F. He's the gentleman who played Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch. So if you're a Starsky and Hutch fan, which I was back in the day, that was must see TV. Antonio Fargas was the guy. And then I think in some movie like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker or something like that, he played that had them high heel shoes with the fish with
the dead fish in there. Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey.
This was one of his early roles as well.
Yeah. What's up, Reddick?
Yeah.
What's up, D? Great. Appreciate y'all coming through.
And Foxy Brown. He was in both of those movies.
Yeah. Did y'all kind of peep that there was a commercial at the beginning where it's like they said you can cure smoking with cancer. Did y'all hear that at the beginning?
Smoking with cancer. Yes, I heard that.
I did.
You didn't hear that, dog?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I was listening. Yeah, at the very beginning, there was like a commercial in the background playing. I think maybe it was on the radio or something. But and then here's a question here. Radio Raheem, do you think it could have came from Bigums? What was the dude's name? The big dude. He always had a radio in his hand.
Abdullah.
Hippo. Yeah.
Oh. Until he gave it to the hooker, but but I guess that was the exchange, if you will.
He didn't have no money.
This movie made me see how narrow-minded I've been. Because like my son used to walk in the house. Speaking of which, he just came in the chat room.
Theater. Oh, okay.
No, he just came in the chat room. My son would walk in the house, and he would have his phone playing, his music would be playing. And I'd be like, man, turn that back, man, put some headphones on. And then when I'm watching this and I'm listening to them, watching them playing their boom boxes, and I was like, wow, I'm tripping.
Because you did it. Did it? Yeah, how you gonna hate on you? You did it. That was the only way we could do it.
Right. And I'm like,
y'all had no headphones.
And now
you ain't never did this.
Hey man.
Rocking with your boom box. You ain't nothing. If you ain't never did this.
Yeah, I ain't never did that.
Hey man.
Yeah.
20D batteries, Jack.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And you better buy some Duracell. So
those same 20D batteries today would cost you $179.23.
Boy, you'd be mad. It will be no music player. Hey, dog, remember you put the tape in and you had to play that joint all the time. You going rewinding, man. You messing with my batteries.
Yeah. In fact, now the batteries now would cost more than we paid for the doggone.
Probably.
Yeah, 20D batteries might be about $100 a day, and the radio cost $100 back then.
My sister got one before I did, but I was able to, it kind of
finesse one. Is that what you're trying to say?
Something like that. Yeah, I would extort her and blackmail her quite frequently. I'm gonna tell mama if I don't get this. That's how I got a Rubik's Cube. That's how I got the jam box. So she had a silver one, and I remember it was $39.95, which back then that was a good chunk of change, And it was a dual cassette and radio. Is basically what it was.
And you were sharp if you had
it was a little bit bigger than a laptop in terms of the dimensions, but it was just thick, about 4 inches thick, But yeah, it was I was the shit with that.
Yeah.
You was a god if you had to kind of detach the speakers.
Oh yeah. That was outside of my mama budget.
I ain't have one. I don't think I had one.
I got one later, especially because you put it was portable, or you could put it in your console or bookcase to where you had the middle part, you detach the speakers and put them on the outside. Oh, when you were first single in your first apartment, if you had one in there, surround sound what?
Surround sound ain't got nothing on this.
Big Illinois, man, 86, Big Illinois was the first cat I ever seen hook up his stereo to his TV. He's like, man, it sound like a theater, don't it? I was like,
that's it. Yeah, but that's not the dual cassette. That's the single cassette.
Yeah, that's just got the single.
That's the original recipe there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, it could have Radio Raheem could have came from Hippo, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that was just the thing,
Radio
though.
Raheem was just, man. That was everybody. Everybody was Radio Raheem.
Everybody was radio. Or everybody had the Radio Raheem in the
No. Everybody used to walk around with their radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, man, hey, bro.
No doubt.
Everybody had a radio. That's why I was tripping when I saw this. And I used to yell at DJ, like, man, turn that mess down, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's how my mom felt now.
Yeah. Man, Rolls Royce, they did the whole soundtrack. They had another song, Zigzag. They played Car Wash and Zigzag pretty much the whole movie. I mean, they wanted you to know that this Car Wash song was it. And that song went 2 times platinum.
Yeah.
Obviously, no surprise there. And after that, they had In Full Bloom that went platinum, and then they had another album that went gold. So this was the beginning. You're right. This was the beginning of Rolls Royce.
Yeah, and I like the way they incorporated the radio station to that, because that what gave you some realism, like that was likely what was taking place, in those situations, and the fact that they were trying to win the contest, and stuff like that,
Right.
that was it, man.
Yeah,
I dug it. I thought that was nice, man.
yeah, and that was a nice touch. And then, me and Erica were watching. She was like, "What's the point?" And I'm like, "There is no point. This is like Friday. Friday didn't have a point. Right. It was just entertaining. And at the end, he knocked out Debo. I mean, like, it wasn't none of them had a point to it.
Some of the greatest shows ever didn't have a point. Seinfeld didn't have a point. No plot.
Yeah, right.
It's a show about nothing. When they pitched it, that's how they pitched it. This is a show about nothing.
Right. Right. One of the longest running shows, or maybe not longest running, but probably most popular shows ever.
It really close to it.
Okay.
I'm one of the few black people that did.
There was no black people in that. None. It was one towards the end. Yeah.
It was 2.
The last season.
Johnny Cochran and George Costanza's boss with the Yankees.
Yeah, there you go. The Johnny Cochran.
So Johnny Cochran had a that was in one episode.
No, he was in a few episodes. He was a fake Johnny Cochran.
Oh, a fake Johnny Cochran. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, if they're in New York, how do you pull that off, right? Only 2 black people.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Which was one of the criticisms, but again, I still enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like Friends.
Yeah.
Who basically robbed living single, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The cornier, worser version. Yeah. Yeah. I never.
Horrible.
One of the things that I didn't realize about this movie, though, is that it was just one day.
Yeah.
From a film perspective, it was one day. I didn't realize that until I watched it. But I'm like, we watched it again. But I'm like, I guess it was just one day.
One day.
That's all they did.
His gift. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. This is another one of those drive-in classic movies my family enjoyed back in the day. Yeah, I would assume this would be one of those. Anytime it came on, you would sit down and watch it.
Oh, no doubt about
it. Yeah, easy flowing. Wasn't it did have some the Abdullah character, and then at the end, that was kind of like the heartfelt moments, but most of it was comical.
Yeah, I thought so for me, TC is one of the coolest characters in cinematic history as far as I'm concerned. Really, the fly, and then it's time he needed to go into action. But how he picked up tried to pick up the chick and the cold shoulder she was giving him, and that type of stuff, as far as I'm concerned, is timeless. That same thing. I imagine how many brothers could relate to that, man. Nowadays, that same situation. Trying to pick up a chick, and for him, he knew it was about bread. He's like, look, I know I don't got no big time job, and I'm working at a car wash, but ain't nobody in there. I don't see a whole bunch of other folks in there cutting for you. You might get somebody make a little bit more money, but you ain't gonna get nobody that feel the way I feel about you, and whatnot. So I dug it, man.
Hey, what? Hey, what a lie! What a guy on the grill didn't have no speaking parts, man. He just kept looking.
Okay.
He never said nothing. If he would have just said that would have been good enough. I couldn't even give him a line. I mean, come on, man. And then all the butter falling on his face at the end, he still didn't say nothing. It's like, you mute or something, man? Come on.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, a variety of characters. They had Hispanic, they had Native American, and they were making fun of all of it too. I think that's the part too that made it
76.
even more comical. Is that
When's the last time you heard the term faggot on TV?
A lot of people just heard it.
I mean, they said it. I mean, it's like they saying faggot and saying it very, like it wasn't. And back then, it wasn't nothing.
But like even though I call it blackface whiteness, it was a microcosm of the world that we fight against today.
Yeah.
Like Paul just said.
Yeah.
Faggot. And it was a whole bunch of other slurs thrown around. And like one of the things that the world, like one of the homies called me this week, and he threw it out there, man, the gay agenda. And I'm like, all right, man. But I'm like, all right, bro. But I'm watching this. This transgender cat in this movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I'm gonna have to say pause first and after. It kind of warmed my heart, pause, to see a transgender dude in this movie. Pause.
Yeah, and you notice they didn't. That's what I'm saying. You've said often the black community doesn't have a problem with homosexuals.
That's why I warmed my heart.
Yeah, and that proved it. They didn't treat him no different. In fact, he was probably more respected than a lot of people in the crew.
Exactly.
Because they went to him, and when shit got real and he needed to settle some stuff down, he did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I warmed my heart. I'm like, I thought black people hated gay people.
Yeah.
But again, we continue to buy into these narratives that are fed to us that we don't like, and then we start treating people like the oppressor treated us. And this puts us further and further back from progress. But it was cool to see. And Tony, I ain't want to see the brother in the dress, but this destroys that whole brother in the dress thing too. They're trying to emasculate you, put you in the dress. One of the dude played a pimp. Yeah, right. This dude is identified as cool in pop culture. He was in a dress. Yeah. And his son played for the Raiders.
Sure did. You
said his son played for the Raiders?
Yeah, for the Rangers. Raiders. Yeah, as a linebacker. Okay,
running back.
I didn't know that.
I can't think his name. Of course, he had the same
name. His last name was Vargas. Yeah.
He played for the Raiders.
Which makes sense. Yeah, because he grew up in California, somewhere in that area as well.
I think he either came from USC or Michigan. I can't think of his name.
Justin Vargas. Yeah, I remember
Justin Vargas.
Wow, I did not know that was his son.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, so in this movie, you had some of everything too, right? You had the boss sleeping with secretary kind of situation, which is a frequent story told. You had nepotism, or waning nepotism, getting ready to happen, right? Because I guess his son was there for the summer from college or whatever, kind of thing. So you had all kind of stuff in there, man. You had the guy, like he knew that was the only place he could get a job that had done time. Ivan Dixon's character.
Ivan Dixon,
don't
come up here no more now.
Parole
officer. Keep this job, Now, and that parole officer, I don't know what his name is, but that dude has been in a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a great character actor in a lot of films, man. Yeah, he's made a good living doing that.
So they had the cowboy character. I forgot what his name was, but he was when he was on the phone and he said, "I'm calling about a social disease."
Yeah, that's
and then he said, "It's just hanging there looking sick."
Yeah, that's Jack Keogh. Scruggs was the name of the character,
Yeah.
That's
I
the one.
felt like that was his character was cool, and
two of them had issues with their women, right? His character and the other character where she was driving that Mustang up there. She's played in some other movies as well.
Yeah. For a minute there, I thought that was the lady from Dead Presidents, Lorenz Tate's girl, but that wasn't her.
She was probably my age. She's too young to be in that.
Yeah, she's too young to be in that. But
definitely.
Yeah. But and then just how they dressed coming to work at the car wash. I mean, to me, that I was amazed at that. Dude coming in 3-piece suits.
But back then, A-Trap will tell you that's how people came to when they had those jobs like that where they're working outdoors or they're working in a car wash situation or they working in some kind of physical labor where they're gonna get sweaty all day. They didn't wear those clothes to the job. They wore got dressed up or dressed in a nicer situation and came. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, Ben. I mentioned it on the show a few times before now. My generation, me and Doc's generation, because me and Doc are a year apart. Me and Doc's generation are the first generation to wear sneakers and t-shirts. They looked upon me and Doc's generation the way people look at the pants off the butt kids now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were dressed. Like my mom used to annually buy me penny loafers. Like I had to wear that, Joe. I used to dress like Gary Coleman, man. Boycotted now, man. It's like, damn, this my thing.
That was a businessman. Yeah, I bet you our generation argue with our parents more than anybody about the clothes.
That tired, right?
That was back before public school had dress codes and stuff like that. Well, I say dress codes. They had dress codes, but they didn't have the uniform. Is what I'm trying to say.
Uniform.
Not in public school. So when the uniform came around in the black community, they was happy because they're like, okay, I can buy these a lot less expensive. It ain't gonna be no competition, fashion show competition, and I ain't gonna have to argue with this kid at Chess King or Jeans West. If you
see Penny
from Dallas,
hey, Levine's.
I don't know if. Yeah, hey, look here, homeboy. When I can get somebody at Chess King or Jeans West, you wouldn't Miller's Outpost. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Miller's Outpost. Yeah.
Like MC Ran, like you get new shoes and run faster.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
but yeah, man, the dudes. I mean, they were clean. Even Ivan Dixon. I mean, he didn't have a suit on, but they had a polo and some nice khakis tucked in.
Yeah.
With a polo jacket and everything. I mean, it was different.
And you like even back in the day, if you see a lot of old pictures and stuff like that, if you're ever in stores or places of business who have like old pictures on the wall, pay attention to them and watch how many people have hats on. Like everybody wore hats. It was not everybody wore hats. It was just part of your dress, it wasn't it wasn't it was just part of
the history of TV.
Yeah. And Wilkes will tell you if he was here, he always talks about his grandfather. Even when he retired, I mean, his stuff would be starched. He'd be getting up just to go run errands in overalls and just like ready.
Yeah.
And I was just
be a thing to stand your pants up in Chicago, man. Can you stand them up though?
So funny story. When I got the Morehouse, we in California, you just iron and stuff like normal. When I got the Morehouse and I seen all these starch, these dudes from Houston, I was like, what the hell? What is this, man? What are y'all doing? It was like, nah, it's just starch.
Look here.
Standing up your jeans up against the wall before you put them on.
Up until 2016, 17, a pair of starch jeans with some dress shoes and a dress shirt. Look here, homeboy. I was look. Hey, matter of fact, you talk me like that on Men's Fellowships a couple of nights. I know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
and the old cats have it with the sandals, with the.
I was never doing the sandals.
One time,
with the Gator Jesus sandals on, man.
At one time, I came in with these square toes on with some starch, jeans. These square toes was fly, And pastor came up to me and he goes, "Where you get them Sabres from?" And I said, "Huh?" He goes, "Them Sabres, them shoes. Where you get them from?" I said, "Sabres." He goes, "Yeah, because every time somebody see you in them, they say, say, bro, where you get them shoes?"
Sabres. hey, that definitely seemed like one of his lines, man.
Yeah,
that definitely seemed like one of his lines.
That was the thing.
Like what? And I used to, and then if you had the pointy joints, they used to call them roach killers.
Yeah, that's right, because you can get them in the corner.
Hey, and everything come back around. I was telling Ari, because at least in my generation, we used to call it goth when people they wear all black and
Yeah.
Now they call it emo.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's the same thing.
Really?
That's what they call it now. It's the same thing. It's just whatever you got, Hey, my dad's still wearing some of my old stuff that I thought wasn't cool no more, but it came back around, and now you wearing it. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I'm waiting on that.
I just got rid of my last FUBU jersey. I hung on to it because
He got it. He got it right now.
it was so, like, I mean, dog, when I wore this, nigga, I got all the love, I even had a
Get
basketball
rid of Nietzsche too, bro.
FUBU athletic, dog.
That Nietzsche ain't coming back either. Get rid of all that, dog. That early 2K, all that out of here.
Yeah,
hey man, LL helped out all the brothers, man.
Came up last week. You hear me? With all this FUBU and
Hey, somebody had the goodwill, yeah. So that Daddy Rich, man, when he rolled up with the tide on the license plate, I was like, this about to be funny as hell. I already knew the Pointer Sisters getting out with him. The driver, another one of those dudes didn't have a talking part, but
same thing. In the Black community, the shyster preacher pastor situation has been a thing forever. That's why I'm telling you, they touched on some areas, but they must have had a Black community meeting and said, "What do we do to get in there?" Because they got every little thing.
Had the militant, which was Abdullah,
Dwayne, A.K. Abdul.
Do not call me Dwayne, man.
They had the snotty nosed kid running, the smart mouth kid coming through on the skateboard talking trash, but they all care for him. Like he got on his, he got on their nerve, but they loved him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They almost got hit by that car, and they all ran out, and
he didn't get almost hit. That was him messing with them.
Yeah, that was being funny.
Yeah.
When I moved, my mother had a boyfriend that moved in. His name was Benny.
Yeah.
And he back in the 70s.
Did he have the Jets with him?
No. When I was leaving, he was coming in, And in the 70s.
You were still living there? You were still at the house?
No, I was gone.
Okay, but got you.
I'm talking about like we would transition. I was moving.
Got you. Okay, I didn't know if it was a specific day. You're talking about
crossing paths.
We would passing each other. But I would come to the crib, and like I had known him my whole life, but he was her friend,
of course,
But I remember I come home one day, and phone ring. It's not you at the crib, your mom's crib. You answer the phone. In the 70s, a lot of brothers had changed their name to like Abdul. I said, "Hello." He said, "Hey man, may I speak to Khalid?" I'm like, "No, Khalid here, man." Bam. So I'm like, call back. "Hello, may I speak to Khalid?" I was like, "Hey, bro, you just called. Ain't no Khalid here." He's like, "Okay, my fault." Bam. So I go home. I come back like 2 weeks later. I'm like, we chilling. "Hello, may I speak to Khalid?" I say, "Bro, you called last week. Ain't no Khalid here, man." Bam. So he came in. And he was like, "What you frowned up about?" "Man, some clown keep calling and asking for Khalid." My mother fall out loud. She was like, "That's him." Like, what? She's like, "That was his black friend."
That's they bad.
I was like, "Oh, my fault, man. I didn't know you was that type of black, man."
Yeah.
Out to the people.
Yeah, you was that black.
Right.
Yeah.
I was supposed to know. You've been Benny all the time.
But the funniest part is, he going through doing his whole spiel. The guy shining his shoes. He give him a tip, and then he signal over to the driver like, "Hey, we need to start that collection real quick."
Yeah.
And he ended up giving them the money back.
Like, $1 back.
Yeah, but that, you could tell the Shine guy was one of his biggest supporters and fans, and whatnot. And of course Abdullah was the only one that wasn't with it.
He was not with it.
That's another thing. I'm glad we went there. The Pointer Sisters were in this, and this was early on for them. Which of course they put on a display. They showed you they can sing.
Yeah, and that was a musical part of it because they were singing and getting him to come on. You got to buy in whatever the song they were singing. You got to believe. You got to believe, and they were all pushing them in the circle.
Something.
But man, that was
believe in me.
That was definitely a highlight right there, man.
K-Rap, I mean, Miss Hale in the building.
You big dummy.
Good evening. Good evening.
I've been waiting a few weeks to get that in at the right time.
Yeah, you did. You definitely did that.
But yeah, man. I again remember when we were talking about the transference of culture from decade to decade. I definitely, outside of being like me being called H rap is as close as I can get to being called Dwayne.
Right. Abdullah.
But
Yeah.
I identify with Dwayne, because I've always been perceived as a Dwayne. When
Really?
people talk to me to this day, if I take up for somebody black, people just assume it's because I'm pro-black. It's like, no, he's right. And it just happened to be black. So I walked away. And when and the sad thing is, man, as a community, the Dwaynes of our community are misunderstood.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
He was extreme. Dwayne was extreme.
Ostracized too. Like because people don't want to really listen to what they have to say.
But check it out though. It turns out like really the brother was just in some pain, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where that whole misunderstood thing come in. They're perceived as that nobody gave him a chance. Nobody really took the time. Like Ivan Dixon's character was the only one that, and probably because he had been in the joint, he had seen other Abdullah types in there. So he knew you ain't got nothing but time, right? So you do have time to get to know folks like that. So he knew it's something deeper to that guy than, that beanie, or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, but his his character, you can definitely relate to it because he was kind of in that spot at the end when he said, like, man, I'm lost. I mean, I got to come to this job. I don't really want to do it. Working for this white man, and he wasn't really getting ahead, so he was kind of torn in between, what he believed in and what he was doing on a day-to-day basis.
And another factor of this job, and remember, I'm talking about they touching on all aspects of what we went through on a daily basis. You got the guy, Ivan Dixon's character. He's kind of the self-appointed, recognized lead, basically. And, I mean, think about it. When he says, man, I've been working for you for over a year. Well, in a car wash job, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been working for you for over a year. I keep everybody straight. I ain't gonna be able to make it off this with my, and whatever. And that was one of the things, right? They always got one, guy that just rises to the top in terms of I'm the one who's gonna deal with Mr. Wallace for everybody. I'm gonna look out for everybody. If anybody getting done wrong, let me go talk to Mr. Wallace about it, because if I cut for you, Mr. Wallace gonna know to cut for you, so to speak, right? And what does that remind you of? How far back do you go with that one? You feel me?
Yeah.
Feel me? Which is why, again, Samuel L. Jackson's character in the Django, right? Cool with me.
I ain't gonna go there, but yeah, that's my,
again, it was of a lesser extent, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 days, but still the same scenario. And I got news for you. It still was happening. I've been on a job where I've been that dude. I was cool with the VP of the department, the head of the entire department, right? Who reported directly to the CEO. I was cool with him. So by extension, trust me, it was some folks that were trying to get cool with me.
Yeah.
Because they knew, Kevin cut for this cat. So I'm gonna be, they knew that's Kevin's boy right there.
Yeah.
It was the truth. And shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with it because on the 1st and the 15th, I said, right.
That's why people used to ask me, man, how you like the job? The check didn't bounce. I love it. See the check bounce. I'm in.
Blue Streak
in the building.
How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. And I think with Lonnie, so Lonnie was his name. With his character, he was definitely that middleman. And at the end, I thought he was he was counting that money. I thought he was about to put that money in the bag and walk off.
No, I knew he. Well, obviously I'd seen it before, but no, I never thought he would. I thought he was always gonna be cool.
This is your first time watching this, man?
I think so. I think I remember parts of it, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I've ever watched the entire movie all the way.
Based on his age group, that makes sense. H.
Yeah,
You know,
it's amazing to talk like me and my nieces and nephews, we communicate a lot, and then we'd be laughing and joking, and I'll be like, "Remember when?" And they'll go, "Nah, Uncle B." I'm like, "You don't remember that?" and they're your age, man. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, they're your age.
It happens a lot with the queens, the younger queens, like the educated queen and the baby queen. They are 12 years younger than me, right? Well, the educated queen, 12 years younger, and the baby queen is about 14 years younger. And so we're talking about stuff, and sometimes we never talk about stuff because I'm just assuming they know it. But then when I bring it up, I'm like, well, if I'd have known, if I would have had the realization that you didn't know it, I would have talked about it sooner and more often. Because I want you to know it. Like one of my uncles that passed away, there's stories there that I'm just assuming that everybody in the family knows, but I be forgetting y'all wasn't around.
Y'all wasn't around.
I didn't see it. You know what's common knowledge to everybody my age and older. I got to remember that the younger kid. So when I'm talking, they're like listening in fascination. You know, when I'm telling, oh, he used to do this and he used to do that and he stayed here and he had this reputation and he's, you know, they're like just all ears. You know, I'm the old cat sitting on the porch telling stories to the young kids, and they like are all ears. You know, but you like A-Trap, you like I'll refer to something sometime or I'll say something, and the older cousins will laugh and the younger cousins look at us like, what are we missing?
Yeah,
you know, and then I got to tell the story, you know. Or it could be, you know, there's a dude in the neighborhood, Sneaky Pete, a dude in the neighborhood, Tree Man, a dude in the, you know, to where they wasn't, you know, or again, those homosexual dudes that walked the neighborhood, like Ralph, you know, they were just people everybody knew, you know.
Ralph.
Whoa. Hey, Chester.
Like he touched
the thing as kids, I remember me and the season queen, we was with some of my friends playing in the front yard. We had a corner house, you know, where my mom and dad, you know, bought. And so he was walking by. And so like, because we were in the corner house and our yard was bigger, that's where we would play pick up and run and all the other stuff, right? You know, we'd be right there. And so he was walking by and we was making fun of go on twist Ralph or something like that. And he'd turn around, go and play with your kids, go and play with your kids, you know. It's never like that, but that's what we know. So when me and Nikki around and we say, "Go and play with your kids," you know what we say. The younger kids like, "What y'all talking?"
Yeah, they don't know what you're talking about at all. Hey, when we was coming up, anybody that was named Chester, I don't know how it became Chester the molester, but man, yeah, you was not winning, man.
Touching kids.
You was not winning when your name was Chester, man. You was losing.
I got two homies named Stacy. I got a homie named Stacy, two homies named Stacy, and a homie named Tracy, and they was Gacy, Tracy and Stacy.
Wow!
All in like, what's up, Gacy, Stacy?
So yes, Keisha, they were because he kept asking her, "You could be home later. What you doing later?"
Yeah, but you can tell she was grown tired with it though. She was already trying to get on something else, you know.
She was trying to get on fake Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Was that what that was?
No, that's why he said fake Robert Redford.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to be Robert Redford.
Yeah. He
got her. Robert Redford was the man.
Okay. So he was the stand-in.
He was white Denzel Washington at that time.
No doubt. No doubt.
And also in this, it showed the owner, because normally you would think, oh, he's, you know, living it up and, you know, his, you know, he's, which I mean, I'm sure he had money, but when he was talking about, you know, my brother told me not to go in this business, I did anyway. Now I owe him everything. Now I'm upside down. So she even showed his struggles, and he wasn't a jerk either, which I appreciated that.
He showed the heart because he went in and told Ivan Dixon's character that, you know, hey, we'll talk tomorrow, man, you know. And Ivan Dixon even looked back at him, had to look a couple of times, you know. So they took the time to show that, you know, I do have a heart, you know, which again, if he doesn't do that, maybe it changes what Ivan Dixon's character does when Abdullah comes in there.
Hey, I thought he was quitting. I thought when he went in there, I thought he was quitting that day. I was like, I'm done. And then he was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and count the money. I was like, yes. Go and put that money in the bag, Lonnie. Get out of there, Lonnie. Run.
But yeah, Lonnie was
Run to
just
the house.
the stand-up guy, and they showed his relationship with his daughter when she came up there. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad they just let him be a stand-up guy through and through.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a instance in which we've lost that.
Yeah.
I've lived a good life and I've lived a life without. And I'm sure Ivy can attest to this because he's made reference of it. Living without, I didn't realize that me and my family were living without
Right.
until I was an adult. Literally, I know the exact date, December 13th, 1994. Was the first time I was ever able to not have to save and give my mother a birthday gift. And her response let me know, man, she wasn't being mean. She was just, I thought my mother was just stern, I said, hey, yeah. And I gave her a birthday gift. She said, I never had this. And I was like, you used to buy that for me in the 70s. She's like, yeah, then come buy an adult, get a child free. I could, and that's the beauty in the whole, and Ivy can attest to this because he grew up in that same cradle. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't need a lot. And I think that's one of the beauties that's missing in the world today. I don't need a lot to be. You don't need a lot to be happy. You trick yourself into believing I need all of these things to be this. But when you become an adult, you realize I didn't need any of that.
Yeah. And some of the best times was you with your cousins.
Yeah.
Playing whatever. And I mean not outside playing street football was some of the funnest times.
Yeah, my cousin that popped on last week and gave the analogy about the tree. Me and him, we were only 3 months apart. Man, we made up half the games we played. We take a laundry basket and get some foil and ball it up and shoot. We shooting, or we get a clothes hanger and stretch it out and the hook on the door.
Back of the door.
I mean, this is how wall ball was made up, to where you got a
ram on a bike.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Up on the tree. Yeah. So we made up games, man, and stuff. We kept ourselves busy. We didn't need no new toys and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
And we was outside, the real outside, not the outside they talk about.
Yeah, these kids.
Hide and go seek. Yeah, hide and go seek or hide and go get it. Yeah. If it was girls in the neighborhood you were playing with, it was hide and go get it. If you were playing with your cousins and stuff, it's hide and seek.
Yeah. I mean, just simple things like racing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Mother May I, red light, green light. Yeah. Shit, it was all good.
Hopscotch, man.
Had a ball.
Yeah, and that's why, that's the beauty, even though I made the comment earlier about the blackface whiteness, but even with that, you got a chance it took me back. This was even better than the movie itself.
The nostalgia, man.
The nostalgic portion of this,
Yeah.
It really even just took me back.
Even the way they advertise. Did you notice the Shell sign on rotation when they
on rotation?
So the Shell sign just rotated up there, and that's what gas station signs used to do. Now they're just stationary signs, whatever.
Now, was this a car wash and a gas station?
Yes,
probably so.
So check out the song. See, back then, fill up and you don't have to pay.
Yeah.
If you fill up your gas, your car wash is free.
Man, you need to bring that back.
Yeah, they did. That didn't go out that long ago. That probably only stopped about 15 years or so ago.
I'm about to say that now. I would say around the time of 9/11 happened, because that's when gas went higher than giraffe coochie.
Yeah,
to this day. To this day.
That's definitely what it is to this day, man.
Favorite drop, bro. That is my favorite.
Boy, that's money. That's my money right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, y'all remember riding with your parents, and y'all have a family outing. It really not even a family outing. It was when we were going over our cousin's house. and you would ride,
What's up,
Between
Butler?
you ride past those
Every-
shopping centers.
Yeah.
With the spinning things, that was a thing,
Yeah.
just to drive past there. I was like, oh, we going over such and we going over Dark, man, we going over Ivan them house. And me, my sisters in the car, and my mom in the car, we going to the west side to my Aunt Connie house. And when we got to Aunt Connie house, it was Craig, it was Sue, it was Lynn, Eric, Lemaine and Barry upstairs. It was just, you ain't need friends, you had cousins. And my dad literally, I have literally 38 male cousins within 3 years of me.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, oh, you gonna join the gang? A gang? I'm in the gang.
Hey, I'm gonna be over there. I'm gonna be over there real quick. If they doing car wash
now the deal is what they're gonna give you. These ain't the car wash where you got people washing it. It's just
you just drive through.
That's just that drive-through spray thing or whatever.
Yeah. And the whole thing, and Doc, I'll come to you. The whole thing was they did it hand wash, and the kid came through like, "Nah, you too cheap." Like they do it, and it was some other name. Whatever the competition was, they were doing it, with the machines,
right?
And I was kind of running them out of business.
Yeah, because that machine thing was new at the point, at that time. That wasn't a common occurrence, So, but yeah, like nowadays, or when they would do the free car wash, recently, or in the 20th century or 21st century, they give you a little code on your gas receipt at the bottom of it, your car wash code, and you just type in that generally a 6-digit code, and
there you go.
Thing, trust me, I did plenty of them.
Yeah,
plenty of them.
All right, so this the point in time in the show where we're gonna play the trailer for next week. I think we Mia Copel, y'all down with that one? That's the hot topic right now.
Sure, I'm great.
Trash or more trash, but here we go. All right, coming up next week, Mia Copel, Tyler Perry's.
I thought that was the Fonnie Willis story.
This old BS whack ass. Hey, Wilkes got to be on. Wilkes,
people have been
got to be on next week.
The trailer didn't look horrible.
Hey, the trailer is just.
Trailer didn't look horrible.
The clips of what you need people to see. But what is real quick? When Tyler Perry's not in it, the movies are normally better. So I'm gonna give it a benefit of the doubt too.
Oh my mama, oh my Wilkes, I look
remix.
That's my swag. Wish you could.
Golden. Thank you for tuning in. Another Lifetime movie.
Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden.
All right, so the Datsun that Calvin's mom had, my parents had a blue one like that. And I always tell the story, it used to backfire. It used to scare the hell out. I was probably like, 5 at the oldest?
You know what a Datsun is nowadays, don't you?
Yeah, that's a Nissan. That's what Z. Yeah. But yeah, they had a blue one like that, man. I tell that story all the time. It used to scare me driving up the street. I want to be on the show that day.
We fool.
It wasn't even Lifetime worthy. Damn. Hey, wow. Wow. That's hard right there, man. Lifetime is like down here.
Street.
All right. So TC got the date. Annie won the tickets to the show.
Well,
I don't know what type of show it was, but
it was a radio. Oh, it was a concert. Okay. So you remember early on that day he got to the phone on time, but he didn't have no dime to put in the phone. Yeah.
Well, the hooker with no name was in the booth at one point. She had no name.
That was one of them. Yeah, but the first one he didn't have no dime. But even her role, I think they were, they did a good job of showing how she's just a real person. Like when at the end of that day, when the dude was putting off, she's like, bye. It showed, that he was doing her a solid as well as she was doing him a solid, so that shows some realness to her personality,
Yeah. Now at the very end, she's kind of walking by when Abdullah and Lonnie were leaving. So I don't know if that was like a, you know, it's my
She was
time to
at
work. Yeah. But I had her looking at it like she was about to go back or something. I mean,
Nah,
I
man,
didn't get that.
clocking in and work, bro.
That's what I figured, but I'm like, why'd you have to show her at that point?
That's
Like,
why
we
I'm
get it.
surprised. That's surprised they didn't have a pimp in this one at any point of the day or anything like that. Because she basically was a homeless prostitute, is what the deal was.
Yeah.
Why she
Was
hung
in the
out.
bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was. As a matter of fact, if
She
you
was an
really,
independent.
the truth of it is, you know, a lot of women of the night at that time didn't have a supervisor. You know,
Soup.
I'm trying to keep it as PC as possible. But no, seriously.
Yeah, we already said the term. We already said pimp.
No, because it was a woman who's been a guest on my show. Her name is Brenda Meyer. She has a book, From the Whorehouse to the White House, and she was in that town during that time. You know, she works with freeing young ladies from being humanly trafficked at this point in her life.
Yeah.
So Brenda pretty much told me about this stuff. You know.
Yeah, and this, I mean, I don't know during that time, but in today's time, it is not the same. You may get picked up and you never be seen again.
I mean,
maybe
that was that then.
probably
they
during that time too. We just didn't.
It was strange things. It was a thing then too.
Yeah, pimping is different nowadays too. Pimping, man. When I look at her, when we first started, when I first got partnership in our restoration company, and we were doing a lot more carpet cleaning, service type stuff at the time. I went to a house in DeSoto, and this house was kind of outfitted like an Airbnb in terms of the bed situation, where you had in every room you had a bunk bed situation. And it was, and I went there early one morning, you know, like between 8 and 9 arrival time, and the supervisor went through all the rooms, banging on the beds. Y'all get up, we got to get this carpet clean in here. And you could tell they ain't been home long.
Wow.
Some of them had their babies with them. It was a modern day. They wasn't doing no business there, but that's where they stayed.
Yeah.
All in one place.
Yeah.
And the brother was very pimpalicious. Like that's how he got down like that. Paid me in cash, you know, all that.
Yeah.
It was no secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, man.
At the time, if I wasn't saved.
And then they all got into the 18 van, and he dropped them off.
Scotch guard for a little hinge.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
You big dummy.
I'm not touching that. Right?
Hey, but they all got in the van. He dropped them off on Harry Hines, and I'll come back and pick you up later.
Yeah. No, they was a Suburban.
Oh, okay.
Suburban. I'm not kidding. I'm just.
You said they had a Suburban parked out front?
It's a Suburban, yeah.
Okay.
Swerving in a Suburban.
Yeah.
And he was saying stuff like, y'all need to hurry up, get up, get to your kid feds and stuff. So one of them stayed at the house with the kids, and the rest of them went and got out.
Yeah.
And and you didn't clock in late at night. You was getting after it early. Like they was, you know, a little after lunch, they was on it. You know, like they need to be on the job by 3:00.
Hey, if y'all live in Dallas, I work right around the corner from Harry Hines. They there when I get to work. They at work. I'm talking about 7:30. I'm talking about 30 degrees. And there's boats and hoes out there, man.
Hey. Hey, have y'all noticed Donna Summers? Most of her songs are about that life.
Mm-hmm.
She works hard for the money.
Love to love you, baby.
Love you, baby. Yeah, she gave it up for them.
I mean, lost and turned out. The Whispers. Lost and turned out. The Whispers.
Yeah.
Skin tight.
103, trying to catch a woman that's weak. Across 110th Street. Yeah, that's Bobby Womack.
I gotta go back and listen. Oh, Bobby Womack was definitely on.
You didn't know that though? You didn't know that? Oh damn. Hey, you know what? I got an uncle once. I was driving in the car. And White Lines came on. This cat is a former drug user. and was like, I didn't know that's what that was about. I'm like,
Wow.
what?
What you thought it was white? You thought it was about the crosswalk lines?
I'm like, bro, you was doing that.
The white horse, come on, ride the white horse. My mom used to jam that song, had no idea what it was about. Like,
Wow.
It's about cocaine, don't you?
Golden said, y'all see Kelly wasn't going for that old Tyler Perry after wig wear.
Yeah. Kelly said, hey, people know me.
And yeah, man.
Kelly can actually act though, man.
She did. Let's just wait.
It looked believable.
She can act. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy is funny, but Best Defense sucked.
So did Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
Dr. Doolittle didn't do little for me. Yeah.
That's when he was trying to get
Daddy daycare.
Get that paper.
Yeah, Daddy, all of those.
He got 10 kids.
All right, so at the end, Lonnie's wrapping up, and Abdullah comes in there with the gun, and for a minute there, I thought he was gonna shoot him, but he respected Lonnie. They end up hugging it out, brother to brother type moment. And now I don't think Abdullah was coming back to work though, but I do think at least he was able to. I'm assuming they probably kept in touch, and
you didn't. So you hadn't seen Car Wash Part 2 either.
There's not a Part 2, right?
Yeah, I ain't seen Part 2.
Are you talking about the one with Dr. Dre and?
That's why you hadn't seen it.
I'm like, damn, I missed
about to say, Car Wash. Let's talk about the Snoop and Dre version. I didn't see that one.
I don't even know if I saw that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They ain't actors, man. They ain't actors. All right.
So before we go too far, I talked about TC. One of the things I also said is that he has the second best afro in cinematic history. Can you tell me who's number one? A-Trap, if you don't get this, I'm gonna be awfully disappointed in you.
You about to be disappointed.
I would be awfully disappointed.
Oh, is in cinematic history or in the history of entertainment?
No, I'm saying cinematic history because that's where this individual was.
Oh, because the number one before you pointed out Franklin and Johns, I would have said Mad Dog from Good Time.
Okay, this is who you gotta guess at all, Ben?
No, I would have to do some research.
Foxy Brown, your girl.
Yeah.
I thought you meant dudes. I went dudes. I would have never picked.
That proves you're a male chauvinist. That's why.
No, because Christy Love had the best woman afro.
Who?
Christy Love, man.
Better than
Christy Love, man. Christy Love, the finest black woman in the history of the world on TV.
And if I were still doing the beauty of the week, y'all already know Mona would have got it, right? Yeah, if I were doing one, which I ain't.
Yeah.
You don't remember Christy Love? Okay. You don't remember Christy Love?
I didn't see her face. I just don't remember her by name.
I think her name is
Notice says yes.
Graves. I'm gonna remind you who Christy Love is, dog. Remember the episode of Good Times when Florida and James went to the cabin? That sexy lady was there. That's Christy Love, Jack.
I'm laughing at the detail.
That woman is, man. Graves, man.
I didn't listen to his words because he talking like these real people, and that's what black folks do.
Man, her character was Christy Love. I think her last name is Graves.
Hey, man, how many times have y'all heard y'all mamas and aunties and stuff talk about the stories back in the day? And they sound like they talking to Luke and Laura was members of the family from General Hospital. Boy.
Hold on, wait a minute, man.
Hey, I'm gonna try to pull up a picture real quick. See if this is her.
Christy Love, man.
Why you doing that? Another scene in this case when they thought the dude was the bomber.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things was when TC and Hippo started dancing when they as soon as they thought they got spotted and they just started dancing with each other. That was hilarious.
Yeah. That was good right there.
Teresa Graves, man.
And then they talk about white people stuff. I think that's what they said when after they realized it was just P.
Right.
Is this her right here? Oh, hold on. That's the wrong picture.
Be careful. Okay, yeah. See, hers was more curly.
Yeah, that's this who you talk? I think this who you talking about right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Now
know,
I think
I like my meat chocolates up in this time.
Big, pull up Foxy Brown right quick.
Hey man, Pam Grier is nice, but Teresa Graves, man, nah. Teresa Graves, man, boy.
Yeah, she ain't have no fro. Like, get the one where she got that red halter top thing on, that crop top.
You talking about when she was running at Angela Davis?
Yeah, you can't. Nah, you can't. Ain't no.
Well, this one right here. Hold on, I think this is a good one. She got a well, it's not gonna work. Hold on.
Y'all just like Foxy Brown because she just kept pulling them joints out, man. Teresa Graves was boy.
I gotta give it to Foxy Brown all day long, man. Again, we are looking for a producer.
This one right here. This is what you talking about.
That's it. Yeah, she. Look at that. That's
Man, she alright. Yeah, well, she ain't got no Teresa Graves.
Hey, that's the crowd, man. That's the crowd, man. Not me.
Hey, put that in a poll. Teresa Graves, Foxy Brown.
Yeah, do that after the show, like on some of the social media deals.
Yeah. Teresa Graves, Pam.
And you got to say who had the best afro. You know.
Yeah.
I don't even know that Pam Grier had afro.
Get out of here.
Even I knew that, man. You got.
I'm just saying, man. Teresa Graves was my childhood crush. That's
Oh,
what I
and
felt
then
like.
my last thing is before we get to final thoughts and mic ratings, they mentioned Wilma Rudolph and Reggie Jackson in one of the radio news stories.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool too.
That was cool. I mean, I'm assuming Reggie was probably
Yankee
big at that time, or right after. Well, no, it had to been during that time.
Yeah, Reggie was the man. He had a candy bar and everything, man.
Yeah, that's right. Sure did.
Yeah.
Reggie was the man. Reggie was the reason I played baseball.
You know, all fat kids know that.
Hey, I was a fat kid.
Hey, Reggie and Kirby Puckett, man, repping for the big ones, man.
No, Reggie was low though.
Yeah, Reggie wasn't fat. Yeah. So
by the time he got to the A's, he was low.
By the time he got to the A's, he'd be 300-400 years old by then too.
We're not gonna talk about Shay Shay.
We're not gonna talk about her right now.
Who's Shay Shay?
Uncle.
Well, we already did.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about her again anytime soon.
That man said her. That's horrible, man.
I've seen it.
That's horrible.
We've seen it.
You call it man her, man. You run around here call it man saccharine.
He just gave the scientific name sugar and
call it man her.
Better than me saying that. You know what we used to call it, A-Trap? We used to call it Imperial. And when we walk about, we'd say Imperial. Because that was the sugar brand. Yeah. I shouldn't say Shay, because he did us right. He did us right at the on Radio Row, though. You know, he really did. You know, so I shouldn't.
He ain't.
No, I ain't finna go there though.
I don't think he is.
Put that poll out there.
Hey boy, it's gonna be 100-1, Jack. He's gonna have to vote. I'm telling you, man. That man's name is trash.
Yeah, man.
I don't think so, but you don't know.
He switched hidden. I ain't saying he don't like female, but he switched hidden. He hit from both sides of the plate.
See, you basing that off of how he got out the car and his stylist. That's only two things that would
You
Yeah.
basing your boy for the San Francisco 49ers off of how he walked into the locker room.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right about that. Though. Hey, but
Debo
that was
Samuel.
different. That
You
was
knew
different.
that tape I sent. I mean that video I sent y'all.
That was
I ain't
different.
see it. I ain't see
Debo,
it.
Debo Samuel in the Fourcast group.
Man, I gotta go see that, man. Because
Yeah.
we be
Oh,
dropping
it's
so
been
many,
been
we do
about
so
a
much
month.
foolishness in
Hey,
that, man.
he had some Imperial,
Hey, boy.
and it is cup for real, man.
Hey, man. I'm just, I don't know, man. But your name is Shay Shay, man. I don't know no dude's name, Shay Shay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's like Pookie. I mean,
Nah, bruh.
Ain't like
And I
Pookie.
got an uncle named Pookie.
That ain't like Pookie either.
Hey, and I got an uncle named Pookie.
man.
Hey, you don't want it to be like that. But nah, man. Hey, man, I don't know. I wasn't there to hold the light on the fight. You know what I mean?
That's an old saying right there. All right, let's final thoughts. Mike, rating what you had before tonight and what you have now. Doc, come to you first.
First we like to give some of the other reviews from such places as Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, etc. So Rotten Tomatoes had it at 86%. IMDb had it 6.2 out of 10. Metacritic had it at 71%. For me, as me and H-Rap talked about earlier, is the nostalgia, the soundtrack, the fact that they touched on so many little areas in our community that are still present today. I gave it a 5 before the show, and I stayed with a 5 after the show.
Wow.
That was insane.
Huh?
What Doc just said, he said?
No.
You said that was what?
That.
He said Debo walked in.
He sure did. You saw that
wealthy auntie from out of town walking into a funeral.
the one where he had that vest on, that fluffy vest on.
And he was holding his hand, he was holding his hand like this, like he had a purse.
The walk
Hey.
was.
Hey, when you get a chance, Google Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey?
Boy.
I don't want to.
All right, so
He
5.
look like he about to look you eye and say, "Whose booty?" No,
I'm 5. And I understand I gave it nostalgia and it's just a feel.
Yeah, that's high, man. That's a 5.
It gave me feel goods all day long.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, think about a movie that you can watch over and over and over and over again. And we did,
Yeah.
5 for me, man.
Okay. All right, A-Trap.
I'm gonna give it a hard 3, man. When I came in, it was like a 2.5. It moved up to 3. I'm gonna go 5. I enjoy it. I'm like you, dog. Takes me back to being at my cousin's house on Fridays. You know what I mean? With me and my cousins, and we all, you might not know about this, dog, but being with the Jiffy Pop. You know what I'm saying? All open. But I remember all that.
You know you can still buy those.
Huh?
You know you can still buy those.
Oh, you can? I didn't know that.
That's rare, but you can still buy them.
Yeah, so it took me back there.
That was before microwave popcorn existed.
Yeah.
You man, that microwave popcorn is trash. But I really enjoyed it. I laugh, but the rebel in me, I went black. I went Abdullah. Brothers don't be doing that, but I snapped out of it quick. I'm gonna give it 3.
Okay. So for me, I felt like it did have some nostalgia. It did. I think I remember parts of it, not all of it. So I started off with a 3. I felt like it was some of the characters I didn't feel like it was like a waste, but I'm gonna raise it to a 3.5 because I think it had. we don't have a point. I think it did have some moments. The moments about how we live, how we move, and showing the different nationalities, how they joked on each other. Mm-hmm. It was pranks. I mean, they made it through the day, and at the end of the day, they all went their separate ways. So
it seemed real, man.
Yeah,
It
that's.
seemed real. Yeah.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go 0.5 for that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 0.5.
the dudes that the Indian guy and the Mexican guy that was messing with each other, they rode home in the Jeep together afterwards, hanging out on the
Yeah.
and that's what they did. It just seemed real to me, So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm
agree.
gonna go up to 0.5 for that reason. It took me back to a time in which we could laugh at each other. We could laugh with each other
and be okay.
All right, so you're doing 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and 5. I don't know what that is.
Did you get Wilkes?
4. That's a 4 without Wilkes.
Okay. I asked him if we got a
That's a 4.
We got a rating on there. But all right.
Wilkes, it was a strong 2.8.
Probably
a little bit more nostalgic than that.
And the music piece too, man.
It's a little bit more nostalgic than
that. May get him to a 3, 3.5. Maybe.
Yeah, I can't see Wilkes giving this a 3.
Yeah. All right. What's coming up tomorrow on the end of the bench?
Oh, the end of the bench.
Yeah. I'm glad you were under him first, shit, because I be forgetting.
I'm gonna do a spot on Teresa Graves now.
The highlight of the show. Teresa Graves.
Teresa Graves is fine. That's what it is. My preteen crush.
Teresa Graves over Pam Grier. That's what the name of the show is.
Yeah. Basically, we talk about watching pocket watching, so to speak. We got a lot of celebrities that are telling people to not vote. But then the first thing we do is come out of our mouths and say that, you can't tell them what to do with their money, but they tell us what to do with our money all the time. They tell us to buy Nike. They tell us to watch movies, watch television shows, buy specific fast food and drinks and things of that nature. And now they're even stepping up and saying who you should and who you shouldn't vote for. And then I'm going to talk about at one point it was illegal to read, and now people are attempting to make it illegal to learn. So, and then things of that nature. And I'm gonna talk about that, and then I'm just talk about these celebrities. They need to either they need to step up or stand down. And the last thing and most important thing is I've been seeing a lot of anti-democratic party propagandized news from our community, and if we're going to hold their feet to the fire, we at least need to be asking somebody for something. It's easy to say what they didn't do and what they should have done. What are we asking for?
Yeah. What do we want?
Yeah.
And they're not gonna assume what we want and do it. They ain't doing that.
It's not the way politics work.
No. All right, Queen 3 and King tomorrow.
Queen 3 and tomorrow got a good one coming up. It's called Soft and Sensitive. No, it's not about Debo Samuel.
Hey man, football players are not that.
Soft and sensitive. Can you, as a woman, be submissive to your man that's more sensitive than you? How do you behave when you got a man that is more sensitive than you, or that at least expresses his sensitivity more than you? This is based on a TikTok video that I came across and found it interesting, because this female stood up and asked that question and thought she was going to get a bunch of support from the crowd and got the exact opposite. So we will have special guest hosts, Jeff Gilliard of This Dope Cooking Show, and his wife, the therapist, Latoya Carter Gilliard of Perspective. So again, 2 other members of the BS3 Network family will be on, and they are some fun members. This will be a show full of laughs, and she will, I guarantee you, both of them really will drop some nuggets that you don't want to miss. So I can't wait to hear their perspectives on it. It'll be a fun show tomorrow.
Definitely. And at 5:30, This Dope Cooking Show will be going live on the network as well. Salmon or salmon, whatever one you want to say it.
Well, man, wow.
Salmon Philly is what he's gonna be making.
I'm not messing with this. I ain't messing with this.
Just say fish, man.
Hey, I had to, man. I had to.
Just
But
say-
anyway,
Just say pink fish, man. Hey, yeah.
pink fish.
Don't say that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he made some salmon fillies the other day. Is that what he's on show tomorrow? I mean, on tomorrow's show or something else?
Yeah, that's what he's doing tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked good. Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back next week. Mia Copa, come in with all the hate. We come in with all the comments. We ready?
Yeah, it don't have to be hate. If you liked it, tell us you liked it. Yeah. See, I'm
But
not
what
somebody,
we like-
Whoever the 9 people that in the world.
I'm not somebody who dislike a show or like a movie simply because of what the popular opinion is. If I like it, I like it. I'm easier entertained than some, So again, trailer looked good to me, and I'm a Kelly Rowland fan.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know?
well, come with all the comments. All right, that makes the show even better than it can be if you continue to join in. But thank you for tuning in.
I personally hope we think it sucks, so we may have a 30-minute show next week.
All right, let's we got a couple people thumbs up. Blue Streak, Eric Butler, Chris Bass, Fly Tie.
What's up, Chris
Great.
Bass? The best voice in
Big Illy.
podcasting.
Yeah. My uncle tuning in, Chantel Morris. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for tuning in.
Your uncle named Chantel? What?
No.
Hey, my uncle tuning in, Chantel.
The name above Chantel, Negro. Corey Dawkins.
I wasn't judging. Oh, that's my son. My oldest.
Yeah. And Craig, the shared Facebook page, Craig and Danny White. So appreciate y'all, everybody, for tuning in. Go ahead and close this out, H.R.
Greg. He know who I'm talking to.
Zader Kai, my friend. What's the use, Zader Kai? We're brothers to the end.
What movie? It's at the tip of my tongue. What's the movie?
You don't know that movie?
I know the movie that's at the tip of my tongue. I can't. It's just not hitting me right now.
Trading Places.
Trading Places. Okay.
Remember they was Dan
the
Aykroyd walked in and they was singing that lame song.
Where the club where they play tennis and stuff at, racquetball and stuff like that.
Forget what they say about you at the meetings. You all right with me, boy.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
2 fingers, 1 word. We are out.